Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to come your way again. Emmanuel of AGYEMANG, and this is Breaking Free today, helping God's people break free from various entanglements and addictions and obsessions by the Word of God. So we are looking at things entirely from the perspective of Scripture. Now, before I start, let me recognize Reverend Dr. Eric Owusu Bania for his mentorship. I love him so much. He is a pastor of the Assemblies of God Church, and I thank him for his leadership and also for the network of revivalists. And I'm also grateful for all my seniors and friends who are motivating me in this area as we take on this huge challenge, a topic that is untouched in churches most of the time, and we don't teach for people to understand the issue. We just look at it as a sin matter, and it's a sin. Stop it. That's all. Just stop it. God doesn't like it. But this is really helping us to see what the issue really is and how to reverse these things. And I trust that you have been blessed so far from following us. Today, I want to tackle a very sensitive matter. Now, permit me, I'm going to be very frank with things. In my earlier releases, I'm careful not to mention some things because I don't want to tempt people, because there are so many things people do, and I don't want to be mentioning them because it may also tempt people to do it. But I've realized whether I say it or not, it's happening. And people might later find out on their own and do it. So today, I am going to be frank and address issues just as they are, say things the way they are. And I'm looking at porn and addiction. In fact, one of the strongest drives God gave us is the passion for sex. Paul says in scripture that, look, it's better for you to marry than to burn with passion. Paul actually said that. In fact, this sexual passion in us is so strong, and it is the doing of God. It is God who puts this within us. Now, most of us have mastered a number of things. I have talked about so many things that people can be addicted to. I talked about like game, shopping, risky behaviors, food, and all others. And for many of us, if you see people drinking, you are not tempted, but just see a naked woman and see. It looks like there is a Bluetooth connection between us and nakedness. Now, it doesn't matter how spiritual you are. I was speaking with somebody and she said a lady was having a mental issue. They took her to a prayer camp and she got naked before the pastor. And the pastor went to sleep with her. Can you imagine somebody who is not in her right state of mind just got naked before the pastor, and the pastor took that as an advantage. So no run home there, and he went to sleep with her. Now you may say the pastor lacks self-control. It's true. But I want you to know that this sexual thing in us is God's gift and is very powerful. See, I go through places, if people are smoking, if they are drinking, it's none of my problem. But I have to be careful if I see a naked person. Okay, because nakedness will evoke this thing that is inside us, which God put there. And so that is why porn is highly addictive. And it's an industry that is thriving because it easily evokes this feeling that is in us. And for most people, especially those who are single and not married, they are the ones that fall victim because that is a way to express this sexual desire that marriage has repressed and they are unable to express it. See, well, gone were the days where it was easy to marry. They don't expect baby and free. They are not even asking this, oh, I will be a Simon Kobobra. But now it's not like that. You have to be getting some good money for wedding and some useless expenses and some conditions the church will lay. And until you make that money, you are not marrying. But the fact that you are not married does not mean your sexual drives are gone. You see? And so the posture of the church today and the trend of society is delaying marriage. And as people say, man, it's not firewood. The more we delay marriage, the more people are struggling with their passions. And once this thing begins to happen, then then everybody begins to look for a way to deal with that passion. And the way we can deal with it is to resort to porn or other forms of entertainment. Now, when we read 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 9, Paul was talking about marriage. Paul was talking about marriage. And let me read from verse 8 so we understand it better. He says, "Now to the unmarried and the widows, I say, it is good for them to stay unmarried as I am." So Paul was encouraging them not to marry. But let's come to verse 9. He said, "But if they cannot control themselves, they should marry, for it is better to marry than to burn with passion." So the Bible is telling us you can be a good Christian or just yours and be burning with passion. Now, let's not get fooled here. The fact that you are a prayer warrior doesn't mean you don't have feeling for sex. You know, some people think, hey, you also want pan, our thing can also. It has nothing to do with your feelings. Now, let's not get stupid here. Okay. When it comes to passion, and this thing is a gift that God put in us. It has nothing to do with your spirituality. So the fact that you are a bishop, you are a founder, you are what doesn't mean your sexual edges are down. The fact that you fasted 40 days and 40 nights doesn't mean your sexual edges are down. And it's something that we need to understand is there. And Paul says it's better to marry and find a way to release this passion than to stay single and be burning with it. But here is the situation. The churches are making it difficult to marry. You know, most people want to do, I thank God for Corona, at least is helping people marry without the stress and cutting down the needless expenditure. That money that they could have used to build their lives, they won't spend that on this reception thing. And if people can continue that way, then we can solve this issue a little bit. Let people marry. Let them have sex. Let them release this tension in the way God prescribed that to be used, than for us to set high standards that keep people not marrying and all this kind of pressure to find alternative means of satisfying this urge coming on. And that's how come porn is a serious issue. Those who use porn are not bad people. Just as I am starting the discourse, they are just running to porn because they feel there is a pressure that they can't release, and so they want to release it privately. If I don't have a wife, I'm not married now, I haven't been able to raise 30,000 for my wedding, but still my drives are worrying me, then why not watch porn? At least I will feel a bit okay until the right times come for me to marry. So people who are trapped to porn actually went there innocently, only to be trapped. Now, others also think that they are learning about sex. So when you watch porn, you are learning about sex. But that's a very pathetic view and a very serious matter. And that's the reason people have been trapped. Okay. You don't need to watch porn to learn about sex. There are so many godly materials that teach about sex. And in fact, you should learn about sex because most Christian people are not romantic at all. They don't know anything about sex. They think everything is prayer, 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 prayer. Some of them are even too holy to sleep with their partners. A reason why their partners resort to porn. Imagine you are married, your wife, don't touch me, I'm fasting today, I'm praying. Your husband say we are going for a prayer meeting, so no sex. They don't understand these issues. And so once this pressure builds in the relationship at home, do married couples, yet they are still consuming porn as an alternative to what they are not getting from their partners. See? And there are so many ways you can equip your knowledge on sex rather than say, I am running to porn. Now, because sex is part of us, when we watch porn, our brain gets excited. You see, so one for the single who is not married, he thinks it's a nice way to still enjoy the blessing of sex because ono obi koda e betu na sen but me hwe pon dey say wontimi ntumi sen. Okay, I want to marry. They say one white wedding. I say we dey penny fine. I haven't gotten the money now. They are trying to make it look like traditional wedding is a sin or God is not in it. I'm surprised. Okay, so okay, fine. If I'm not able to marry now, then let me consume porn. Me no be kodani be too much, and I'm helping no dia so So let me consume that until the door opens for me to marry. Then I will see if I can stop. Only to realize they are not able to stop because the porn industry is highly engineered to put certain things in people to weaken your judgment and to let you see sex as something different from what God intended for it to be. As something different from what God intended for it to be. So it's exciting watching it. And once you watch it, your brain opens up, your reward systems opens up, and now your brain likes the feeling, and you are motivated to get the same reward again. And the more you watch it, as I indicated in my earlier video dealing with addictions part one, I told you the processes that are happening that is dragging you into addiction. So you need to get that video and watch dealing with addictions part one. Then you begin to see what is happening to your brain as you are consuming porn and why you are unable to stop because of the excitement and your brain requesting more of it and all that. You see it in that video. So I won't spend time dealing with it at all. So now we have come here. You've now found an alternative means of satisfying yourself outside marriage. And because it's so simple, nobody catches you, then you stay there. And now you are hooked to the point that that's all you think about. You need more hotter content. You can't stay a day without it, and you are unable to break free. So that's the whole serious thing about porn. Now, those who think that they are just watching porn to learn about sex and that it's all about the intention with which you are watching, you have no idea the seriousness of the matter. Now, I'm going to be very frank with it. You watch porn and one woman, and there are three men sleeping with her. What they call double penetration. So, in her genital area, a man sleeps with her there in her anus. A man is also sleeping with her in her mouth. He also has another man. Now, pardon me, but I have to address things the way they are. If you are watching porn where a woman is sleeping with three men at the same time and enjoying three different sensations from the mouth, from the genital area, from the back at the same time, what are you learning about sex? Will you be able to stay with one man? Never. You see, so in this thing, the women are used as sex toys, and the aggression and the various forms of expression in sex, that is what you are going to carry into your marriage. And you see, all those things, they are done by actors, and so they are faking them. And they look so exciting. People are aggressive. People are doing a lot of stuff there. And that is the expectation you are bringing into your relationship. So you only widen your sexual appetite to the extent that no man can satisfy it. Now, there are so many things that women are exposed to in there. They are inserting so many things in themselves for pleasure. Wood, cans. They put condom around cans and wood and other devices you already know about. And now they are pleasuring themselves through various forms and techniques of masturbation. Now, which man's manhood looks like a wood? See, so now you learn all these things from there. These passions enter you, and now you are unable to break free. No man is able to satisfy you. You marry this guy, and you can't handle it. You marry this guy, he can't handle you. You marry this guy, he can't handle you. And now you are in a promiscuous living. As a good Christian as you are still struggling with your sexual passions because of the things you exposed yourself to through pornography. Okay. So it's such a serious matter because most people will now find a way to defend it. And once they defend it, they don't also know it's opening the way for more addictions in the area of sex. Okay. Now, I just feel like the things I wanted to say that people do, I want to put a break on it because some people are too innocent who may be listening to this. But I'm telling you, people do a lot of stuff. See, obitimi tam benkuta, benkuta, no de share na say. Now, which man's pennies and a to say benkuta? So if you are doing this, you are just opening your sexual appetite. No man can satisfy you. No penis looks like benkuta. You understand the point I'm making? See, and so these things only generate unhealthy cravings and passions, which God tells us to master. See, God tells us to master them, to flee the desires of the youth. So to master the passions that are building in us. And you cannot master something by still entertaining something that fuels it. Entertaining something that fuels it. People are, from watching of porn, are getting drugs to enhance their manhood, only to make sure, only to realize they are getting impotent. People are taking so many drugs because that is what is recommended on porn sites. And after that, they realize in their mid 40s, they are not able to function anymore. And it will amaze you some of the drugs people know. Where did we learn all these things from? It's from the porn industry. Now, you'll be shocked that this Christian sister you see who sings so well, because their sexual appetite is so enlarged from consuming porn that no matter what you do, they are not okay. They are just not okay. They are asking for more. Some say, is it demonic? Well, somehow I've treated demons and addictions part one. And so you listening to that, God willing, we will be topping it up with other knowledge in that area. But this issue of porn is something that we need to watch. And what is driving us there? We have the soft porn, the hard porn, and whichever way is now easily accessible. Sometimes on your phone, while you are there, you see porn sites popping up and things you don't expect showing up on your phone. And sometimes all the videos we are seeing on Facebook, YouTube pages, most of them have sexual content. So even if you don't want to watch porn, the Nollywood, even some Kumawood movies, you see sex scenes and others that just trigger you to watch, and you're excited and you are looking for more content to watch. So basically, in this part one release, I want you to know we have no justification for watching porn because it's highly addictive. That's why people, even in the office or take computer on IR or type or ejuma, but watch a video na we're minimizing at the corner na one hand any fee and watch it. They said they will read it through the old type on, but it's still porn. I watch it. Your ma break wrong person or so fixated on the laptop and just enjoying the porn. See, people can do a lot of nasty stuff. So it's not just even porn. All those X-rated movies we are watching, it's about time we put a break on them. The child of God should set limits around the things that you watch. Job said, I made a covenant with my eye that I will not look at any girl lustfully. You have to now come to the place where you decide which content you are going to watch. I'll come your way again with more details on this whole addiction industry as far as porn is concerned. I just made this audio recording to expose the thing briefly, and I trust that God will help us deal with this matter in detail. But whichever way, you can always put a break on it. God has given you what it takes to stop any habit you don't want to continue on. And just also get the first release I made on dealing with addictions part one, and look at the stages of change which I outlined there. And I'll be releasing more to help us break free. Until then, check your appetite and keep fighting your way out. My name once again is EMMANUEL, OPOKU, and this is Breaking Free Today. God richly bless you.